Martin Luther King Day, residents came out to discuss racism in the Asbury Park community. At issue was the statue of James A. Bradley, the Jim Crow of the North. Bradley segregated the city, a legacy that many say still exists today.
At a time when segregation and racism was being fostered and prevented in our country, he made a decision at the apex of his community, in the empowered positions that he had, to not fight against that, but to instead profit off of that. I don't think that's appropriate. So we think that the statue should be removed, possibly preserve it in places more appropriate in the museum, but we also think there should be a commission formed, representative of the diversity of the community, that can say what kind of symbol or statue actually represents our values, and that's what should be the representation.
But the merits that rest inside your soul. And when you compare the two to Martin Luther King, and what he did, we're not saying he was perfect, you can see what was in his heart. It was for the liberation and freedom of his people. And then when you look at the character of what James Bradley stood for, if you connected to what his heart was sharing with his people, it was not in for the benefit of the community and not benefit of the collective whole. And if we're trying to really look and make an impact in our society today, we have to see what are those examples that are representing those ideas and those foundations of strong virtue, of a strong character. And these symbols that we have within our community are affecting us on a conscious or subconscious level. When you have to realize that if we want to really change and impact, we have to begin to change ourselves. Because the statue is just the beginning, but I think in the press, Reverend Paul mentioned something about how it's so much more than just removing a statue. We have to look within ourselves and see what's inside of our heart that is building and giving towards these ideas of this separation and segregation that we see today. So my message is really taking the time is to learn to go within yourself first, to see what it is that you can do to change your own self and make sure that you can bring that change into the world. And eventually we'll have a statue that represents all of us, like the collective whole in this future, whatever. So thank you folks, I appreciate the time, man.
I wanted to say thanks to the Help Not Handcuffs crew that's been here, but also mostly thanks not just for organizing this rally about bringing the statue down, but between connecting racism and the prison system and the drug war. I just really appreciate the interconnectedness. A lot of organizations sort of just look at one issue and they don't see the interconnectedness. Sadly, the segregation that he supported over 100 years ago, his legacy is still here today. He created a city and train tracks where the working class black folks and the working class Italians, which a lot of people forget, were forced to stay on that side of the train tracks. And they could come and work here for the capital of the mostly white upper class, but they were not allowed to hang out. So I believe a lot of people talk about the statue as just symbolic, but I believe taking down a statue, a city's history is their story. That is part of our story, and if we take that part down, we will be able to live a different story, one that says, hey, we are not in support of racism.
My family kind of came here from the migration. My mother went to school here in Asbury, we migrated up to Harlem. And as you can see, I'm a Vietnam vet, first of all. And I retired fire department in New York. But I've been an activist since I got out of Vietnam. I always remember back in 1968 in Jacksonville, Florida. I was in my summer white uniform in Jacksonville, Florida. And I went into a bar just to get a beer, like any sailor would when you open the ship. And because of the color of my skin, they would not serve me. Change. And also the thing that bothers me mainly about this statue is that me as a taxpayer in this city, this isn't a public park. My taxes go to help maintain that public park where the statue is. So that's why I am definitely against that. I have no problem in putting it in its place in the history as far as the museum or what a museum or page for museum of real history. But in a public circle where people have to see all the time and the tax you pay to maintain that is definitely wrong. So I think this is part of the struggle, and this is the legacy of what King is about. And once again, I'm glad to be part of this. Once again, thank you, Randy, the rest of you, for help bringing me in to be part of this. And I say the struggle continues. Thank you.
And for 3 years, I lived in a dorm called Jefferson Davis Hall.
Wow.
That's the president of the Confederacy. And I lived there, it was the 80s, I lived there, I shut my mouth, I feel embarrassed about that. But that university, that historic university, tore that building down. It's gone.
Wow.
Now, if they could tear down that building, I don't know where that big giant mural of Jefferson Davis was. It was huge. I don't know where that is, but they tore the building down. If they could do that in Kentucky, in the Confederacy,
Wow.
we could take that down
Yeah.
in Asbury Park.
I mean, that's almost like the same thing. 'Cause I remember it was a couple years back, and my wife was walking down here, and I promise you, I felt like strangers in my own community. I don't want to raise here, and I was just like, man, like, why y'all looking at us? Like,
Yeah,
we don't live here. I mean, the gentrification that's going on, whereas they build up 400, 500 units over here, and build a park and maybe 2-3 houses over here, and then they come back and do the same thing. You know, of course, you know, it's ownership, and people start looking at you differently.